A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to week 6 Monday's class. I hope that you're doing all well and jazakumullah for arriving early. Now, you should be thinking that we are in a mosque environment. So you should be making sure that you have done your wuzu, you're wearing clean clothing, your head is covered with a hat if you're a boy, a topi, and a scarf if you're a girl. And we would really like it if a parent could be present. And I hope that you're all sitting in a quiet place with no background noise, so you can concentrate on the class fully. Right. If we should start our class with the Quranic prayer for Monday. And if I could have a student to the mic, please.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. G1009 has the mic.
G1009, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, and jazakumullah for asking. So let's start with our Quranic dua for Monday, and let's start with Tawus and Tasmiyah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitan nirrajim. Bismillah Rahman Nirrahim. Rabbish Rahli Sadri Wa Yassir Li Amri. Very nice. Do you think you can read the translation?
Yes. Lord, expand my mind and make my task easy for me.
Very nice. And can you read the bit in the brackets as well, please?
Taha 26 to 27.
Very nice. Do you know what this means?
This Taha means the surah, and it 26 to 27 is like the verse.
Very nice. You're right. You're very right. And jazakumullah. It was very nicely read. And this is the reference. You explained it very nicely. Jazakumullah G1009.
Jazakumullah.
Okay. So today we will be starting with a new topic. The name is normal elongation. It's chapter 15 in the book, and it's also called Madde Asli. So as the name suggests, it's got something to do with prolonging a word or a letter. So basically there are three letters of Madde Asli, normal elongation. It's Alif, Waw, and Ya. Today we will be covering Alif and Waw, and tomorrow you will be covering Ya with your teacher. Okay, so I will be reading through this text and I will be explaining to you as we go ahead what it means. So mad just means to lengthen or prolong something. In Arabic, the three letters of harful mad, letters of prolongation, are Alif, Waw, and Ya. As I just said, the three letters of harful mad are Alif, Waw, and Ya. The Quranic example below includes all three kinds of mad elongation. Just here, Udina, Nuhiha. So it's got a Waw here, a Ya, and a Alif. So this word has got all three of them. Similarly, this word has all three of them, and here It's got all three of them. So a harful mad should be prolonged for about 2 seconds, i.e. double the stroke of a fatha. So it should be prolonged for 2 counts or 2 seconds, same as the vertical fatha. So same amount of time as the vertical fatha. Okay, so I will explain the alif madhya for now, and then we will go on to waw madhya later on. Okay, so alif madhya is always preceded by a consonant carrying a stroke of fatha. Let me explain it to you. Okay, so here there is an alif. It doesn't have any stroke on it, but preceding it there is a ra with a fatha, just as it explains here, a consonant carrying a stroke of fatha. Okay, so whenever you see an alif, you have to make sure you check what if there is a fatha maftu letter before it, preceding it. Okay, so I will just go through this example. Here we have a ra with a fatha, and after that we have an alif. So I will prolong it for 2 seconds. Ra, ra, and this alif will be called alif madhya. Similarly, lam with the fatha and alif with no strokes on it. Okay, it will be prolonged for 2 seconds. La, la. Okay, just bear in mind that the letter before the alif has to have only fatha, no kasra, no zamma, only the fatha makes it an alif madhya. Okay, and here we have the whole word sirota, sirota. Okay, just before the alif here we have a ra with the fatha, so this makes it alif madhya. Now we have the lam here with the fatha and the alif, so it will be alif madhya. The lam will be prolonged. La, la. Okay, so I will go on to the next exercise across just this here, and if I could have a student to the mic, please.
G1006.
Assalamu alaikum, G1006.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today? Alhamdulillah. Okay, so I will read out the alif madhya and the letters, and you can follow me, and then just at the end I will see if you can you have understood it and you can recite some of it as well. Okay, so just here we have ta with the fatha, and then following this we have an alif, which makes this alif madhya. Okay, so it will be prolonged for 2 seconds. Ta,
Da,
very nice. Ta,
da.
very nice. And I hope that all the students at home who are not on the mic at the moment, they will be following me and reading this at home as well. So here we have the ta with the vertical fatha. It will be prolonged the same amount of time as this alif madhya. So it will be read similarly to this, same as this one. Okay, so ta,
Da,
ta.
da.
Very nice. And now we have the ta with the stroke fatha, and it will be just read as a single count, no prolongation in this one. Ta,
Da,
ta.
da.
So this is a nice example of alif madhya, vertical fatha, and the normal fatha. So you can see which ones are prolonged. This one is prolonged 2 seconds, this one is prolonged 2 seconds, and this one is just 1 count or 1 second. Okay, now we have the ba here with the fatha, and there is an alif after that. So when we see an alif just after a maftu letter, just like here, ba with the fatha, we have to automatically think that we have to prolong it for 2 seconds. and the alif doesn't have any strokes. Make sure there is no stroke on the alif, no fatha zama kasra, and no sakun, a sakun sign. Okay, so ba,
Ba.
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 Very nice. Now a ba with a vertical fatha, same as this one. Ba,
Ba.
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 And here we have ba with a fatha, only one count or 1 second. Ba,
Ba.
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 Okay, so do you think you can read this example here? Just 1 second, let me highlight it. This example,
Yes.
go on.
Ta.
Ta, well done. What about this one?
Ta.
Very nice. And this one?
Ta.
Very nice. Now this one.
Ba.
Very nice. Jazakumullah G1006. You have read the letters, all of them, very nicely, and you prolonged it just the right time. Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so if I could have the next student, we will go down this column, the alif column, and we will read the next 4 examples. If I could have a student, please.
G1011.
Assalamu alaikum, G1011. G1011, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Okay, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, so we are doing Alif Madya today, and we'll be reading these 4 examples, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and let's start with this one. Okay, so we have the ho with the fatha, ho.
Ho.
Very nice. And now we have the lam here with the fatha. Just after that, we have an alif. And what we should be thinking, there is no stroke on the alif. We should be thinking that we are going to prolong the lam here for 2 seconds because there is an alif after that. Okay, so la,
Lam.
la.
La.
Very nice. And qin, qin.
Queen.
We have a kasratain below the qaf. Okay, so reading this word together will make khalaqin.
Khalatin.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have al here, al, roq, roq, roq. Very nice. And then we have a noon with a fatha, and here we see an alif with no strokes. So what we should be thinking is prolong it for 2 seconds. Na,
Na.
araq,
Araqun.
na.
Na.
Very nice. Okay, so here we have khalaq,
Khalaqa.
and we have the noon here with the fatha and an alif with no strokes. So do you know what we should be doing here?
Yes.
Na. Very nice. Prolonging it for 2 seconds. Khalaqna.
Khalana.
Khalaq.
Khalaqna.
Khalaq.
Khalaq.
Na.
Na.
Do you know what kind of letter this is?
Ho.
Ho. Try to read it from your throat. Ho.
Ho.
Very nice. And this is a thick letter. We pronounce it with our lips rounded a bit. Okay. So ho, lok,
Ho. Log.
lak,
Lock.
na.
Na.
Very nice. Okay. Now here we have alif maftu, and it joins on to the ha with a sukoon sign. Ah. Ah. Very nice. Now we have the lam here, and after that we have an alif. Do you want to read this letter here? Do you know how to read this?
Yes.
Go on.
La.
Very nice. So you prolonged it for 2 seconds because there is an alif maddiya here. Ni.
Mi.
Ahlami.
Ahlami.
Very nice. Jazakumullah G1011. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah. Okay. If I could have another student to the mic, please.
G1004.
Assalamu alaikum G1004.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
मैं ठीक हूँ, आप कैसी हैं?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, we will start from this word here, this example. And we have the ayn here joining on to the lam, and there is a tashteed here and a kasra. Ulli.
Uli.
And straight after it joins on to a meme with the sukoon sign. Ullim.
Ulim.
Very nice. And now we have the noon here. Just after that we have an alif. What should you be thinking?
Because now that there's an alif in front, I'll have to make na a sound like that.
Very nice. So do you want to try to read this part? Just this?
Yes.
Okay.
Na.
Very nice. So prolonging it for 2 seconds because there is an alif maddiya here. Okay. Ulimna.
Ulimna.
Very nice. Okay. Now here we have alif joining on to the tha. Ath.
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 Okay. So this is a tha, not a sheen. Do you know the difference between a tha and sheen?
Yes.
Okay. So there is only one this here, and with the sheen it should look like this with 3 dots on top. Okay. So this tha makes a very soft noise. Tha.
Tha.
Very nice. Ath.
Ath.
Or.
Ta.
Actually, do you want to read this bit?
Yes. Ka.
Very nice. Why did you prolong it?
Because there's an alif at the end.
Very nice. Okay. Do you know what kind of letter the qaf is here?
The qaf is a thick letter.
Very nice. Okay. Qo.
Qo.
La.
La.
And try to read this bit.
Ha.
Very nice. Now this is another alif maddiya, and you did it right to prolong it for 2 seconds. Similarly, this one was an alif maddiya, and you prolonged it for 2 seconds. So athqa.
Athqa.
Laha.
Laha.
Very nice. Okay, let's move on to the next example. We have the qaf joining on to the noon. Qin.
Kin.
Qin.
Kum.
Okay, we have a vowel, and we have an alif here. And do you want to try and read it?
Wa.
Very nice. So you prolonged it for 2 seconds. And this is an alif madhiya because it doesn't have any strokes on it. And the letter preceding it, the letter before it, has a fatha. Okay. Nun.
Nun.
Okay, remember this is a dhammatain. We had it 2 weeks ago. Dhammatain. Nun.
Nun.
Qinwanun.
Qinwanun.
Very nice. Moving on to the next example. We have bun.
Bum.
You want to read this bit?
Ya.
And the next.
Num.
Very nice. Okay, so the ya here, you prolonged it for 2 seconds because we have an alif here just after the ya, and the ya has a fatha. So this makes it this alif madhiya. Okay, and just reading it all together will make it bunyanun.
Bunyanun.
Jazakumullah G1 004. Very nicely read.
Lapis.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, remember that the alif is colored in blue because we are doing alif madhiya right now, and it's colored in blue, and the letter preceding it it's colored in red. So just to make it easier to understand this. Okay, now I would like to show you something to check if recognize if an alif is a madhiya or a mad. You can have these steps. If you follow these steps, you will be able to recognize an alif madhiya. Okay, if you see an alif, check there is no stroke or no symbol on it or below it. Okay, now next question. Is there a fatha on the letter before it? Yeah, just here. If we just go back, and now we spot an alif here, check if there is a fatha on a letter before it. Yes, there is. Okay, what do we do next? Now we know it's an alif madhiya or an alif mad because it has a maftu letter before it. Now what do? We elongate the fatha sound for 2 seconds. Okay, Ra. Okay, so the steps are: check there is an alif, no strokes. Okay, there is. And just before it, the letter carries a fatha. Yes, so we have identified an alif madhiya, and we prolong it now for 2 seconds. Ra. Great. Okay, we will move on to waw madhiya now. Okay, so waw madhiya is always preceded by a consonant carrying the stroke dhamma. So here we have a waw madhiya. Okay, and preceding it there should be a consonant with a dhamma. Okay, so the letter before it should carry a dhamma, and the vowel should be carrying a sukoon sign. Okay, just here it carries a sukoon sign. So that's what waw madhiya is. With the alif madhiya it was a maftu letter. Okay, and now with the waw madhiya, the letter before it has a dhamma on it, and vowel has to have a sukoon sign. Right, so I will read out these ones. Ooh, ooh. So it will be prolonged for 2 seconds then because it's a mad letter. Okay. Now here we have a waw with a sukoon sign, and preceding it there is a ta with a dhamma. So it will be identified as waw madhiya, and reading it with prolonged 2 seconds. Tu. Similarly here we have 2 waw madhiya here and here. Okay, so both have mudammam letters before it, meaning the letters before it are carrying a dhamma. here. The ta is carrying a dhamma here. The alif is carrying a dhamma here. So we read it we read it longer for 2 counts. Oo, tu, oo, tu. Okay. Now here we have again 2 waw madhya. Here the waw has a sukoon sign, and preceding it we have a ta with the dhamma, so it makes it waw madhya. Tu. Similarly here we have a waw with a sukoon sign, and preceding it there is a ba with a dhamma. Bu, tu, bu, tu, bu. Great. So I will move on to the next exercise, and we will read this row here. And if I could have a student to the mic.
G1012.
Assalamu alaikum, G1012.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, and jazakumullah for asking. Okay, let's start with this example. Here we have a waw with the sukoon sign, and we will check, is there a dhamma letter before, a mudammam letter? Okay, so yes, there is a ta carrying a dhamma. So we know this is a waw madhya now. Okay, tu, tu. Very nice. Now here we have a ta with a vertical dhamma. Okay, so vertical dhamma, remember that it will be prolonged for 2 seconds, similarly to this here. Okay, so 2 seconds. Tu. Very nice. Tu. So these 2 will be read identically, prolonged for 2 seconds, prolonged for 2 seconds. Okay, now here we have a waw with a sukoon sign. Okay, and preceding it, before it, there is a ba with a dhamma. So we identify that this is a waw madhya. Okay, so read it prolonged for 2 seconds. Bu,
Boo.
bu.
Boo.
Very nice. Now we have a ba here, and can you tell me what sign this is on the ba?
There is Dhamma time.
Yes, it's actually vertical dhamma. Okay,
Vertical Dhamma.
very nice. It's also called dhamma ishbaya. Okay, so do you know what we have to do with a vertical dhamma? How long do we have to prolong it for?
2 seconds.
Very nice. Yes. Boo.
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 Okay, now here we have a waw with a sukoon and an alif preceding it with a dhamma. Okay, now we identify this as a waw madhya and read it prolonged for 2 seconds. Ooh.
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 Very nice. Now here we have the alif with the vertical dhamma, and it will be prolonged for 2 seconds as well. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Very nice. Jazakumullah ji 1012. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Walaikum salam. Okay, I would like to go on to the next exercise and start from this example here. If I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1013.
Assalamu alaikum G1013.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, so let's start with this example. Okay, we have a la with the fatha, la.
La.
Now we have a, just here we can spot a vowel with a sukoon. Now check before it, is there a dhamma? Yes, there is. And we would read this letter prolonged for 2 seconds. Okay. Du,
Do.
du.
Do.
Very nice. La du.
La. Do.
Very nice. Okay. So here we have meme with a dhamma, mu.
Moo.
Yes, you spotted it very nicely, and you prolonged it for 2 seconds because there is a vowel with a sukoon,
Yeah.
and preceding it there is a meme with a zamma. So we prolong it for 2 seconds. Okay, moo.
Moo.
And do you want to go ahead and read this one?
Sin.
Very nice. Swin.
Sun.
Okay. Do you know what kind of letter this is? Sword.
Sod.
Yes. What kind of letter is? A thick letter. Okay. Very nice. Mu swin.
Moo. Tin. Sin.
Very nice. Okay. Now moving on to the next example, we have da.
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 Ma.
Ma.
Do you want to try and read this part?
Lu. Lu.
Yeah. Go on.
Na.
Okay. So
Na.
very nice. Yes. You corrected yourself. It's a single count. Okay. So you don't prolong it. Just read it for 1 second. Na. Da.
Na.
Ma. Lu. Na.
Da. Ma. Lu. Na.
Very nice. So here you spotted this very nicely. You prolonged it for 2 seconds because there is a vowel, sakin, and preceding it there is a lam with a dhamma. So this makes this vowel a vowel madhya, and the preceding letter will be read for 2 seconds, prolonged for 2 seconds. Okay. So ta'maluna.
Ta'maluna.
Very nice. Okay, moving on to the next example. We have fa'al.
Fa'al.
Okay, and do you want to try and read this bit?
Ku.
Mm-hmm.
Ku. Ku.
And the next part?
Ku.
Very nice. So again, you spotted this very nicely. You prolong the qaf with the dhamma because there is a vowel madhya after it. Do you want to try to read the whole word?
Fa. Fa. Al. Ku. Ku.
Okay, so remember that alif, if it doesn't carry any stroke, then it's an alif madhya. But this alif has a fatha on it, so we won't prolong the fa for 2 seconds. It will just be just read for 1 count. So fa'al qu.
Fa'al-u.
Fa'alquhu.
Fa'alquhu.
Who will be read for 1 second as well. Okay, who.
Who.
Very nice. Jazakumullah, very nicely read. G1013. Allah Hafiz.
Takallam.
Allah Hafiz. Alaikum. And if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1014.
Assalamu alaikum, G1014.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, then let's start with this example. Here we have the meme with the dhamma, and after it, just we have a vowel sakin. Okay, now with vowel sakin, we should check if there is a letter with a dhamma, but we know there is. So we would prolong the letter with the dhamma for 2 seconds. Mu,
Mu.
sa.
Sa.
Very nice. So do you know why I prolonged the sa for 2 seconds?
Vertical fatah.
Vertical fatah. Very nice. So Musa.
Musa.
Very nice. Okay. So just here we have the ya joining on to the sakin letter. Yaf.
Yaf.
Qa.
Kho.
Do you know what type of letter the qaf is here?
Thick.
Thick letter. Very nice. Qa.
Ko.
And do you want to try and read this bit?
Hu.
Very nice. Why did you prolong it? Okay, because we have spotted here a waw madya. Okay, a waw with the sukoon and the ha before it has a dhamma. Huna.
Huna.
Yafqahuna.
Yafqahuna.
Okay, if you could just bear with me one. All right, so we have yafqahuna.
Yafqahuna.
Very nice. Carrying on to the next example, we have laka.
Laka.
Dhibuna. Dhibuna.
Ibuna.
Dhibuna.
Ribuna.
Buna.
Ribuna.
Very nice. Did you spot which letters I prolonged for 2 seconds?
Vertical fatah.
Vertical fatah here. Very nice.
Ba.
Ba here, because the ba has a zama and after it we have a waw sakin. Okay, so this one will be prolonged for 2 seconds and this part will be prolonged for 2 seconds because this is a waw madya and this is a vertical fatah. Very nice. Now, do you want to go ahead and try and read this example?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, a lam with fatah.
Yeah. La. Yeah. Yeah. La. Mu.
Very nice.
Yeah. Ma. Lu. Yeah. Ma.
Okay, let's split it up. Let's read this part. Just this part.
Yeah.
Very nice. Now read this. Lam with the fatah.
La.
La. Now read this part.
Mu.
Very nice. You prolonged it for 2 seconds. Make sure to prolong it only for 2 seconds and not longer. Okay, now this part.
Na.
Very nice. Ya'lamuna.
Ya'lamuna.
Very nice. Now here, this is the only bit we prolong for 2 seconds because there is a wow madya here. Very nice. Jazakumullah G1014. Jazakumullah. Okay. Now, if I could have another student to the mic, please.
G1016.
Assalamu alaikum G1016.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. And we will start with this column here. Okay? The blue column. All right?
Okay.
And here we have a vaw madya because we know there is a letter carrying a dhamma. So do you know what we do if there is a vaw madya?
We make it longer.
Yes. How long do we make it?
2 seconds.
Very nice. Do you want to try and read this?
Yes.
Okay.
2.
Okay. Do you know what letter this is?
Yeah.
Very nice. Go on then.
Yeah. You.
Very nice. So we prolong it for 2 seconds. You. Very nice. And we have mi, nuna,
Me. Nuna.
you, mi, nuna.
You. Me. Nuna.
Okay, which are the 2 bits I prolonged here?
The 2 vowels.
Yes, vowels. Very nicely spotted. We prolonged the actually the letters before the vowels because of the vowel. Because there is a vowel madhya here and there is a vowel madhya here. So the letters before the vowel will be prolonged for 2 seconds, so double. Normally we would prolong it for one second, 1 count, but because of the vowel madhya, it will be read twice as long. Yuminuna.
Yuminuna.
Very nice. Yar.
Yar.
Ji'una.
Ji'una.
Very nice. Okay, so which bit did I prolong here?
The ein.
Yes, the ein I prolonged because there is a vowel madhya after the ein. The ein carries a dhamma, so we prolong it for 2 seconds. Very nice. Yarji'una.
Yarji'una.
Okay. Now we have here yaqtu.
Yaqtu.
Okay. Do you want to try and read this bit?
Luna.
Very nice. Yaqtuluna.
Yaqtuluna.
Okay. So we prolong this lam with the dhamma because we know that after the lam we have a vowel with the sakoon here. Okay. So this is a vowel madhya then. Okay. So the next example we have here, yubu. See?
Si.
Yubu. See?
Yubu. Si.
Very nice. Do you know what type of letter the sword is here?
A thick letter?
Yes, it's a thick letter. Nicely spotted. So we read it with our lips rounded a bit. Even with the kasra, we try to read it with our lips rounded. Sui.
Sui.
Okay. Yubsiruna.
Yubsinuna.
Okay, now here we prolong the ru for 2 seconds. Can you tell me a bit about it?
We long the raw because after it there's a
Yes.
wow.
Wow.
a wow.
With a sukoon sign. This is a sukoon sign. Very nice. You spotted it nicely. Jazakumullah, and very nicely read. G1016. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay. Now, if I could have another student to the mic, please.
G1020.
G1020. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. G1020.
G1029.
Assalamu alaikum. G1029.
Walaikum salam.
How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. If you could move closer to your mic, please, so I can hear you better. Okay. We will start with this example here. We have mufsi,
Mufsi.
and we have dal with the dhamma, and we check just after that we have a vaw sakin. Okay, so we know with the vaw sakin, this is a vaw madya because preceding it, before it, there is a dal with the dhamma. Okay, duna,
Duna.
mufsiduna,
Mufsiduna.
duna.
Duna.
Very nice, nicely read. Okay, yufsi.
Yufsi.
Do you want to read this bit?
Okay. Duna.
Very nice. So you prolonged it for 2 seconds. Can you tell me why you did that?
Because it's before the wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you pronounce it for 2 seconds.
Okay, very nice. You spotted it very nicely. Before the wow, there is a dal with the dhamma, and the wow carries a sukoon sign here. Just the little sign here is called the sukoon sign. Okay. Yufsiduna.
Yufsiduna.
Very nice. Okay. We have yadhu.
Yadhu.
Okay. And here we have the lam with the dhamma and the vaw with the sukoon sign. Okay. That makes this vaw a vaw madya. Okay. So this will be read for 2 seconds, prolonged for 2 seconds. Do you want to try and read this bit?
Okay. Luna.
Very nice. Yadkhuluna.
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 Very nice. Do you want to try and read this whole word? You can split it up as you want.
Okay. Yes. Tuna.
Okay, very nicely read. You prolonged this bit for 2 seconds. Do you want to try and have a go with this bit again?
Yes. Tuna.
Okay, remember there is a sakoon sign on top of the scene. That means that we will join the ya with the scene here. So yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the sukoon sign looks a bit like a little dal. So this means the sukoon sign means you will just read the sound of that letter. So the scene has the s sound, and you will just read the sound of that letter. Yes.
Yes.
Tuna.
Tuna.
Very nice. Yes, tuna.
Yes, tuna.
Very nicely read, G1029. You spotted all the wow madhyas and you read really nicely. Jazakumullah. Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, now I would like to show you how to recognize wow mad or wow madhya. Okay, now check if there is a vowel sakin. Okay, a vowel sakin is just here. This is a vowel sakin, a sukoon sign, and a vowel carrying a sukoon sign is a vowel sakin. Okay, next step is there a dhamma on the letter before? Let's check on this part. The letter before is to and it carries a dhamma. So yes, there is a dhamma on top of the ta. And what do we do? Okay, we have identified that this is a vaw mad or vaw madhya. Okay, and what do? We prolong it for 2 seconds. Okay, so the steps are, if there is a vowel sakin, then the letter before it, check if there is a dhamma. Yes, there is a dhamma. So we have identified vowel madhya and we prolong it for 2 seconds. All right. Now, I would like to read the alif column, this alif column, and just a reminder that alif madhya means that there is no stroke on the alif, but the letter preceding it has a fatha on it. Okay, so no stroke and the letter preceding has a fatha. No other sign, no kasra, no dhamma, a fatha. Okay, now let's read this column. If I could have a student to the mic, please.
G1030.
Assalamu alaikum, G1030.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. If you could just bear with me 1 second, okay? Okay, how are you today, G1030?
Good. And you?
Alhamdulillah, Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, let's start with this example here. We have a kha here, and just after that, we have a alif with no stroke, okay? And the kha carries a fatha. Do you know what we do?
Prolong it for 2 seconds.
Okay, so do you want to go ahead and prolong it for 2 seconds and read it?
Kha,
Oh, very nice. Prolonged it for 2 seconds. Do you want to go ahead and read the next bit?
lidan,
Lidan, very nice. Khalidan.
khalidan,
Okay. Do you know what kind of letter the kha is here?
a thick letter.
A thick letter. So we should make sure that we read it with our lips rounded a bit. Kha.
Kha,
Very nice. Okay. Let's move on to the next part. We have fala,
fala,
and we have a ha with the fatha, and just after that we have an alif. And check if there is no stroke on the alif, and check if the preceding letter has, the letter before has a fatha. So what have we identified just now? Do you know?
fatha madde,
Alif madhya, very nice. Alif madhya, yes. So we have identified an alif madhya, which means the preceding letter will be prolonged for 2 seconds. Falaha.
falaha,
Nice. Falaha.
falaha.
Very nice. Do you want to try and have a go at this example? You can split it up or read it together.
Ardina,
Very nice. So you spotted the alif madhya here and you prolonged this noon for 2 seconds. Yes, very nice. Ardina.
ardina,
Okay, as we know that the dod here is another thick letter, and even with the kasra, we have to try and round our mouth a bit. So make sure that it's read as a tafkhim letter as well. So dui.
Dui.
Very nice. Arduina.
Arduina.
Okay. Try to read this example, please.
Nasiya.
Very nice. So you spotted the alif mad ya here and you prolong the ya here for 2 seconds because there is no stroke on the alif and the preceding letter, which is the ya here, has a fatha. Okay. Nasiya.
Nasiya.
Very nice. Nasiya.
Nasiya.
Okay, Jazakumullah. That was very nicely read and you spotted all the alif madiyas. Allah Hafiz G1030. Okay, so now I would quickly like to summarize what we did today. We did alif madiyah, okay, which is basically an alif with no strokes, and we check before that there is there is a letter with the fatha, and that will make, if there is, then it will make a alif madiyah. And similarly, we learned about waw madiyah. It's a waw with a sukoon sign, okay, and the previous letter, the letter before it, will carry a dhamma, okay, and the letter with the dhamma will be prolonged for 2 seconds if we spot a waw madiyah, okay. So there is another letter of mad, which is ya, which we didn't cover today, but you will cover it tomorrow with your teacher. And for today, we have just covered the alif and the waw. And I will go on to our homework for today, which is in the topic of normal elongation. You should practice exercise 15.3, the red alif column and the red waw column, which is, let me just quickly show you, which is this red alif column here and the red waw column. So this bit, what we did today, but make sure to practice it at home so we can carry on tomorrow with the next ya madya, okay, and it's on page 69. And a recap of mad, an alif mad or an alif madya, an alif mad is only if alif has no symbol on it, and it's straight after letter, and it comes straight after a letter carrying a fatha, okay. And a waw madya is only if there is a waw sakin and it comes straight after a letter carrying a dhamma. Okay, so if you spot a waw madya or an alif madya, then you prolong the previous letter for 2 seconds. Okay, we'll quickly go on to our Quranic prayer. If I could have a student to the mic, please.
G1033.
Assalamu alaikum, G1033.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, let's start with Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah. A'udhu billahi
A'udhu billahi
minash shaitan
minash shaitan
nirrajim.
rajim.
Bismillah
Bismillah
Rahman
Rahman
Rahim.
Rahim.
Allahumma
Allahumma
ummar
Ummar
hamni
Hamni
Bil-Qur'anil
Anil
Azim.
Azim.
Very nice. Do you think you can read the translation here?
Yes. O Allah, have mercy on me through the Quran the Great.
Jazakumullah. Very nice. Allah Hafiz G1033.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, so this concludes our class for today. I hope you do your homework. Jazakumullah for attending. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.